Shikal everyone. Today we have with us the Chief Operating Officer of a great product that we have come across. It's called Party. As the name suggests, it is uh, it is like a party online on the Web3 space. And let's talk to the Chief Operating Officer of Party. How are you doing, man? What's happening?
Very, very well. Thank you very much.
Mm.
Lovely to be here. Lovely to be talking about how we can help everybody join the party and make it even bigger.
Awesome. Can you share a bit about the story of Party and how it all started and how the vision came about and how did you start executing it?
Yeah, sure. So the CEO, Brian Gallagher, he's right now doing some more fundraising in New York. But he had this vision that the new generation of crypto is going to be very different from what we've had before. So if you go from the very beginning, first of all, crypto just was. Okay. Then next thing was you can have it, like you can own it.
Right.
Then you start getting Coinbase launching, and then you can start trading it. And then you got things like Ethereum. Now there's actually a use to this. It's actually useful. You can actually do something with smart contracts.
Right.
And kept going in different cycles. And the most recent one was the meme coins that probably were not that great for the market, sucking on a lot of liquidity. But the next wave, which we think is going to be really major, is social finance, and something that really gives crypto a huge utility. And if you go back to like the beginning of the internet, how did the internet spread? Well, it was a military application at some point, but after that, it was entertainment. People paid for entertainment to make the internet as big as it is. Or take NVIDIA, one of the biggest companies in the world. How did they become that big? Well, by building the infrastructure, like the semiconductors for graphics processors.
Correct.
And that is what made it really take off. So it's been entertainment that has driven so many huge developments. Or on that note, even take what's happening in Saudi Arabia right now. I mean, so Savvy is their big video game company, but the vision that Saudi Arabia really has with this, the Public Investment Fund, is to take Savvy and use that as the entry point to build a whole technology sector in the country through that technology around gaming.
Correct.
And nobody's done that for Web3, for crypto.
Correct.
So this is what Party is doing. It's really recognizing that the way to bring a new generation on is to make something that is useful, and make it useful to transact in the thing that people always want, which is entertainment. They will always go for that.
Got it. Okay. It's like I remember when Google Maps launched, everyone was excited what possibilities it would really bring to the internet world.
Yeah.
And then Uber came and it changed the atmosphere of cab bookings, right? And it actually uses Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
So it's similar to how Web3 space is so proficiently being used by Party for just a simple entertainment system, which is very difficult for a normal user to imagine without the underlying existing systems. So which is very exciting. Let's move on to the next question. How do you define presence in the digital space, and why do you think it is very important today? What do you mean by the digital presence? So everyone in the internet space, they really want some or the other kind of digital space or presence, right? How does Party enable that for its user base, and how does it enable the users to grab that attention from a normal public?
Yeah, so the big thing that Party is doing is streaming. So there are old streams, VODs, video on demand. But if you just look at the metrics on how much people engage with live streams versus old streams, it's enormous. I mean, people are all coming for the live stream. And we really believe, and our experience proves this, that in real life streaming, live streaming really is the future of entertainment.
Correct.
Because in live streaming, unexpected things happen.
You get all sorts of content there.
No. And like what we see with all the creators on the platform is that they're just masters at making their life look like it's just this movie, like constantly. I remember. So I grew up in Basel, and I remember there was in Basel, Switzerland, and there was this exhibition
Mm-hmm.
once that it just consisted of you would go into this little room that was set up in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
city, and then there was just a big window in the front, like a completely dark room, and just a window,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was this really groovy music to it, and it just made you imagine that like life is a movie. Um, this reminds me of John Cage. I used to be a musician before all of us, and John Cage, this experimental composer in the last century.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about music as organized sound.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is organized sound? Well, it can be anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you have the awareness to to realize what's going on, then I mean that's the thing. I mean I did a PhD in music theory, and people sometimes ask me like, what is music theory? And the really good thing about it is that there always is an example to talk about. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look at this air conditioning. I could talk about that. I could talk about that as music. But let's get back to the concept of party.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in real life streaming, which really is driving so many people here because it's really exciting. And
Mm-hmm.
when something happens, you want to be on the party. You want to be in the party. You want to be on the platform, seeing it.
Also, like what I understand is like in today's world, everyone is so focused on showing everyone what they're doing, and they have this like uh, innate desire to show everyone that they are really having fun. So so they want to just live stream it. They
No.
want to showcase the kind of music that they're listening to, or the happeningness which is happening in their life. The girlfriend is doing some kind of difficult activity for them to consume, they want to film it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So they want to showcase even the smallest of the things. So I think that gives party an edge because it is tapping to the very innate human desire, right?
Yeah, people are
They,
curious. Like, why do we humans speak?
hmm,
Like, why do monkeys not speak and we do?
correct.
Well, because humans, they just wanted to talk about each other and
They want
shit
to
talk about each
express
other. And
themselves in a way,
yeah, like the human brain is
right?
optimized
Hmm,
for being social, not for doing math, not for reading and writing. It's for being
absolutely.
social and like exchanging gossip. And like, this is what party is. It's like just and you can't hide behind live streaming. I mean,
Yeah.
every once in a while, like on my YouTube feed, I get obviously some sponsored link from I don't know
Hmm.
Zuckerberg saying something, and then he always films himself
Hmm.
with something that looks like just an iPhone camera, like
Hmm.
bad quality. It's supposed to be look like bad quality. Obviously, highly
Hmm.
scripted,
Hmm.
but like that is what people want.
Correct.
They want just the
They want
raw,
organic content.
unfiltered.
Correct. They want organic content.
Yeah,
They don't really want edited footage or things which are not coming from the heart, because now they are so consumed by the organic content. They are addicted by organic content. And I think that's what Party is also aiming for, which is like, I think it is definitely headed for the future. I'm seeing it is the Web3 version of Instagram.
yeah. You could put it that way.
Correct.
Um,
Um, let's talk about the gap that Party is trying to fill.
mhm.
From like if you think of the online platforms which are already there, let's say TikTok or Instagram, and
Yeah,
there are a lot of other video streaming platforms which can enable you to showcase anything online, even YouTube,
yeah.
right? How is Party positioned itself in a different way, and what's the future looking like?
Okay, so take Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
So Snapchat does just one very particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it does it really well.
Mm-hmm.
It had its wave, and then the wave went.
Mm-hmm.
Or take Instagram. Like everything that Instagram
Mm-hmm.
does can be achieved through Facebook. Like everything that Instagram does can be achieved through LinkedIn. But it's just LinkedIn is a completely different vibe. Like you would
Correct.
never think of using LinkedIn the way that you use Instagram.
Absolutely.
And the same thing for Facebook. Like Facebook was this universal platform that allows you to do everything.
Mm.
And Instagram is like,
Yeah.
you cannot do everything. Like I remember I used to be a big Facebooker back in like everybody was.
Yeah.
And I remember when Instagram came out and I was like, well, why would I go on Instagram if I can do it all? This is
Correct.
like purely rational mind. Like I was not the in social kid.
Absolutely.
But Party is taking one thing and doing it really well, and saying
Hmm.
this is the place that you go to watch crazy live streams
Hmm.
where maybe some contrarian, controversial stuff happens, where cool stuff just completely unexpected. That's where you go to
Hmm.
if you want to have real entertainment, stuff that is happening in the real world made into a movie, but
Hmm.
not made in the process of becoming a movie because it's happening
Hmm.
in the real moment. You go to Party.
Hmm.
I mean, how exciting is it to watch a live soccer game? Like there are
Hmm.
thousands and thousands of people that go stream into stadiums and watch it, and then all around the world, millions of people are watching, like the game Barca and Madrid.
It's the thrill that cannot be really bought, or it cannot be like enacted, right? Anything can happen.
Yeah,
Anyone can
and now I
really.
mean, in real life streaming is taking this to another level, and which is not just some like institution, like even a soccer game or any sports game. These are all like institutions,
Correct. Correct.
like a political speech that is an institution.
Mm-hmm.
In real
Yeah.
life streaming is like we could just be doing this and just like that is what is literally happening on Party.
Right.
Like sometimes whatever Jack Doherty, he just needs to go and have a shit, and
Correct.
then the phone doesn't come along with him. It's just like doing something else and watching something else. That's just life. I mean, there are a bunch of people that just do these. This was on one of the other platforms doing like I think it was an 80-day stream,
Mm-hmm.
just like filming himself 80 days,
Mm-hmm.
24/7. And then 8 hours a day he was just sleeping. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we do not allow is sleeping. You can't sleep on
Mm-hmm.
stream.
Ah,
We ban
okay.
you
Okay.
because we don't want that stuff.
Okay. Let's talk about meditation, wellness, and emotional health. How does Party approach meditation and mindfulness differently from any traditional wellness approach? How do you think Party is taking that route differently?
So just comparing ourselves to some of the other video real life streaming
Mm-hmm.
platforms, we really want to become a universal platform that allows
Mm-hmm.
for a great variety of content. And one really, really nice stream is the ship captain
Mm-hmm.
who just goes through the world and he films him taking a huge tanker ship and parking it in some port. And
Mm-hmm.
then, it's just in the ocean for days on end. Um, and we really see a lot of niches having the potential to come up in a way
Mm-hmm.
that on Kick or Twitch they don't really, because
Mm-hmm.
they have a very strong association to something. Now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not comparing us to Google to YouTube yet. I mean, YouTube is like in the stratosphere, like a complete different size.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a real opportunity to become a platform that already at a small size is universal. In that, take Rumble for example. Rumble is
Mm-hmm.
also doing live streaming, but they're very much associated with the hard right.
Correct.
Like you go on there, and the first thing you see is, yeah, this is conservative politics
Correct.
made into streaming.
Mm-hmm.
We never had that hair on fire problem. Like we never solved for like one specific demographic.
Mm-hmm.
We just went to the highest, to the greatest common denominator immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, yeah, there probably is a slant right now. I mean, it is a bit controversial what sometimes happens on it, but it is much more universal than something that just caters to one niche,
Mm-hmm.
and that is how we can make our brand flexible enough
Mm-hmm.
to accommodate a lot of other content.
Hmm. Let's build on to that raw content thing. So I'm sure there must be a lot of times when controversies happen, right? Because raw footage is not seemingly it cannot be really stopped from happening
Yeah.
because I don't think any software can really in within the span of getting that stream it can immediately ban. There's no capability as of now, and that defeats the purpose of releasing raw footage, right?
Mm.
So I'm sure there must be instances where there are abuses being heard or some censored content that should have been avoided and
Yeah.
of course that leads to some controversies, and we live in a world where people get offended very easily. So how do you handle that?
Oh well, we have a great team on Discord,
Mm-hmm.
our moderators, and they're there
Mm-hmm.
24/7. I mean, it's not perfect coverage, but they're very quick to flag stuff that is not quite right.
Mm-hmm. And let's discuss more on flagging. So flagging is a very it is kind of hindering the freedom of speech, right? So when you flag too much, you give the wrong signals to
Yeah.
the content creators that their content can be flagged, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
So
let me give you an example. And so Johnny Somali is
mhm,
he just came on the platform because he wasn't breaking our terms of service. Like
mhm,
until they break our terms of service, we let anybody come on the platform.
mhm,
And he's very controversial. I mean, he just goes to the world and is just
mhm,
arrogant to
mhm,
people and cultures and disrespectful. And then he
mhm,
gets into trouble. And there was there was this one time in which he was being arrested on stream,
mhm, mhm,
and then we just banned him for his
mhm.
own protection,
That's
so
an
that
interesting way to
he
put it,
cannot
yeah.
be putting stuff live that is then on video on demand that
Mhm,
then can be used against him. So it
mhm,
was just for a few hours, but like while the action was going, we did this for his own protection.
mhm,
So I mean, people can do whatever they want. Like we have terms of service, and that's
mhm.
all.
And what does party do to avoid like being addicted? Because I'm sure there are platforms which are like even Instagram or all these social media platforms, they're working on creating content which is very viral, very
Yeah.
much viral. At the same time, they don't want you to be addicted to it,
Well, they do want you to be addicted
right?
to it.
Yeah, but in the right way,
Yeah.
right? They don't want you to have some psychological problems because of the addiction.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you make sure, and how does party make sure that their emotional balance is in place? Do you have some AI in place which automatically decides on the user base, on the kind of videos that they like, or do you track on how much time they are spending on each video, and what does that video look like, and do you like have kind of a recommendation engine in the background?
Yeah, no, we don't have that yet. We don't have a feed. Right
Okay.
now, it's just like the good old days when Twitter did
Okay.
not have an algorithm. Like
Okay.
those are the good old days, and people remember them. In which there was a tweet that appeared, two point
So
five
it's
milliseconds
like
ago. It
Omegle.
was at the very top
Okay, it's like Omegle and Instagram with all the randomness,
with
right?
all the randomness. Yes.
And all the live streaming going on.
Yeah. No, I mean, so you come on the platform, and then if you've seen it, then you can go and uh, pick what streamer you want to go to, and like the one that
Hmm.
is the biggest one in that moment is
Hmm.
just the one that appears first. And the biggest one is like how many people are watching it.
Awesome. Okay.
So, but I mean, some of the OGs of Twitter, they were like, yeah, that's
I
how we
mean,
wanted it to work.
absolutely. Like
Like
if you go,
we don't need some big daddy algorithm and telling us what to watch and what not to watch.
so I remember in the old good days of Reddit, there was this guy who was putting his hand, and this like he is just asking everyone to just place the sun in between his fingers, and the
Oh yeah, I
comment
remember that.
the
Yeah,
comments, if you read through the comments, it's a journey on its own.
yeah,
Like you enjoy, you have a laughter of your time. I mean, that kind of organic content is missing now, right?
yeah.
And that can be only achieved when there is rawness involved. And I'm hoping like party can give you the opportunity to create some raw laughters, because if I'm
Yeah.
articulating the AI engine to give you laughters, like I'm manipulating that somehow, right? But if you allow the law of attractiveness or law of randomness to create that moment of excitement, that is something which is very intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, there was just this wonderful moment, like after the internet actually came about, and before the algorithm started coming in. Maybe the decade of 2000, 2010, or a little bit later than
Mm-hmm.
that. And I think we will look back at that time in which everything was a little bit clunky. You know, it was a little bit raw. There was no algorithm, or it was just starting. And it was still a place that you could just go and explore. I mean, we just did a collaboration with Decentraland, for example. And, like there's this whole concept of open worlds. Like that's the thing in computer games now. It's open worlds. I mean, just wait until AI just starts generating open worlds in real time. Like why is Minecraft so popular?
Correct.
Well, I don't play Minecraft, but my one theory is just because it's this open world. It's just this infinite thing that you can. And as soon as you start putting algorithms that start, you know, gating what you can see, like take TikTok, for example.
Correct.
You try to find a video, like this is something that I've actually had to do. I want to find a video of like, what did Jack Doherty do in February? It's like, you're never going to find that because it's just so behind all these algorithms and you can't search for stuff. Or I don't know, if you've ever gone through your Instagram feed and you remember, oh yeah, 2 months ago, I saw this or that. No, you'll never find it back
You'll never
again.
find it because it is like it is gone in the forest of all the millions and billions of videos, and you will never find it again.
No, but it's not only that. It's not like a forest is still above ground and in air. This is like submerged.
Correct.
Like it's underwater. It's you're above water. You can't go into the water. It's a completely different. Whereas if you just have something raw and unfiltered, it's just like there. You just have to look through it look through the forest. But it's a very different, much more analog feel. Because we're talking about forests, and you can just imagine going through a forest.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the creators economy. Like, I'm sure Party has a system where the creators are rewarded or will be rewarded in the future. So, what is the proposition if everyone if everyone in the viewership can understand how is it different from creating a content or a live streaming content on YouTube, because there are a lot of live streamers.
Okay, so if you're on another platform and you're starting to create content, so what first happens is if you're nobody and you start streaming, you're going to get nothing. Well, why should you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then at some point you have enough engagement so that you theoretically become eligible for something. What happens then? You get nothing. Why? Because you have to wait for payment processing. Okay, the whole thing has to go through like the official banking system, and then at some point, then you just keep growing. It's a few weeks in the best case later, then you start getting paid. What happens next? So you start growing slowly, but not necessarily proportionally to how much engagement you're driving. To do that, you have to start going for ads. And you have to go and monkey around to all the
advertisers,
whatever brands, and find this stuff yourself.
Correct.
And if you just want to be a content creator, like getting brand partnerships is a very different skill that you're not necessarily interested in doing.
Correct.
And why should you have to do that?
Because
if you just want to be a creator,
your content quality is also decreased because you have to somehow incorporate the brand sponsorship.
Yeah.
And if that feature is not, if that is something that you don't want, then you have to enable for features like super chat or ask the viewers for money, right? How is Party different in that case?
Yeah, so because it's powered by Web3, this enables a lot of different ways of monetization. And just a few weeks ago, Jack Dorsey was just tweeting about this, how current monetization models for creators just suck. They just don't. There's so many better models, and Web3 allows for micropayments.
Correct.
Micropayments because it's completely frictionless and almost free to do this. So what happens on Party, as soon as we launch our stream to earn model, you come into the platform, you are nobody, you start streaming. And the first minute you start streaming, you're going to start getting micropayments. It might be 1,000th of a cent, but it's still something versus nothing. Then you get one viewer, then that number starts getting bumped up. And it just keeps going bumped up and up. And then we can monetize so many more aspects. Whereas like on traditional platforms, it's just like how many viewers are there. We can start monetizing how consistently do you stream? How many chatters do you have on the chat in real time? How often are they chatting? What is the variety of chatters?
Correct.
How many streams do you have from the past? Like how old are they? How often are people still going there? how much are they being clipped,
Mm-hmm.
and shared on other social media. We can do all of this. Of course, the most important still is going to be how many people you have viewing it. But because it works, like you can really create an exponential growth in how much you make on this, which is not necessarily related to do you have your ads, do you not have your ads, because there's this system that is much more responsive to the viewer and less responsive to what institutions have you put in place, and how can you game the system in the ways that it exists, the system of having ads, the system of whatever view botting, whatever it takes. Yeah, and we really believe that this is something very exciting. And the example that I always like to take is, what does it take to get a six-pack for just a generic man? Well, a few months of working out on a regular basis, watching out for your food. It takes a lot of discipline.
Correct.
But just think if there were an app or some solution
that gives you the
that gives you
progress every minute, every
a six
cycle.
pack. No, not continuous. It's like you push the button. Oh my God! Look at that six pack. How much would you be willing to pay for that? How much could they sell that? They could just say, the billionaires, here, how about $100 million for a six pack immediately? They would get it. It's that immediacy. Or take Apple Pay. Like Apple, I have a Apple card. I think it's only in the US, but one thing that they do really well is, as soon as you spend something, you get this cash back, and you get the cash back immediately. So say I spend, I don't know, $100, and I get a cash back for like $1.20. Who cares?
Correct.
But I get a notification immediately. You just got rewarded $1.20. Remember us, Apple. We just gave you $1.20, which is something that every credit card is doing anyway.
Correct. But it
but
is
it's not so immediate,
showcase.
And it's just like on your monthly bill, which comes like a month. And it's like, I don't care. Whereas if it's immediate, and that is what these micropayments do. That is what is so exciting about these micropayments.
Correct.
That you see it immediately, and then this is also the key to bringing new users from Web 2 onto Web 3, because you come onto the platform. It takes literally like 2 or 3 clicks, and you're immediately associated a non-custodial wallet. So you start interacting on the platform. As a Web 2 user, you don't need to know anything about crypto. You just do your thing. And we will start rewarding viewership as well. So we're literally rewarding people to watch TV. I mean, just think, being paid to watch TV. That's where we're getting at, because of attention, and that is worth something. And then, at some point you go to your user settings and you see your account and you have a bunch of money there. And you may not know anything about crypto. And then it's like, oh, that's interesting. What can I do with that? I have this money. Maybe I can swap it into something else. Maybe I can pay a creator. And then very quickly, very, very smoothly, all of a sudden you're a Web3 user. And that is what Parti is doing.
Parti is not
completely
only
uniquely.
So it is not only creating a different financial stream for the content creators and advertisers, but also it is giving the viewers an opportunity to create micropayments to the people that they like to stream.
Yeah.
So if I like a streamer or a content creator, now I can be responsible for his instant gratification. So that gives an opportunity to a lot of the small creators who don't have to wait for $100 to complete. And then the money is going to be coming into their account. Because
their American account. That's the thing as well. Like if you're some creator in Papua New Guinea,
correct.
How are you going to make money on YouTube? Well, there must be ways, but they're not easy. If you just have a crypto account, it just goes into your crypto account.
Correct.
I mean, there are countries on Earth where crypto is illegal.
And then I'm sure you are involving the advertisers to invest into the space through the tokenomics, and then the creators are going to be paid through your tokenomics in the future. So that creates a whole economical structure. That's amazing. I mean,
no, and it's really solving the key problem of crypto. Like crypto had no use. First, it just was. Then it was traded. Then it had smart contracts, but it's never had some real world application.
Correct. One more use case. Suppose a streamer tries to stream right away and he's getting instant views. It is trying to create some kind of a censored content which might get more views. Let's say he's trying to do an intercourse online, right? And that is instantly getting you a lot of viewerships. The user is instantly getting micropayments, and suddenly the video gets halted because it gets flagged.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that such content is not paid, because that is a potential loss for the advertiser as well? So what's your take on that?
I mean, you can say it's a loss to the advertiser. Maybe it's an opportunity that, I mean, luck that we took it down fast enough, because like advertisers don't necessarily want to be associated with
Correct.
censored content. So
Absolutely.
it's not really a loss. No, and I mean our system right now flags stuff really really quickly. Like we take down stuff very. I don't think we've ever had a case of that, but yeah, stuff that is against our terms of service is taken down. Period. And as we become bigger, we'll just get more people to.
You'll automate a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's talk about the key developments that are happening around Party. What should viewers expect in the next few months? What are the new things getting developed? And if there is anything that everyone can expect, just bang on, tell us.
Well, Kanye West was live on
Mhm.
Party this weekend, which was
Wow.
pretty exciting. Or yay, excuse me.
Mhm.
Yeah, mobile app is coming out very, very soon. I've seen it
Mhm.
myself on my own phone. It's working very nicely. Just a
Mhm.
few little things, and then yeah, we're talking to some major global brands to do
Mhm.
some cool partnerships, some business models that just have never existed before.
Mhm.
That make entertainment so much more entertainment,
Mhm.
and just really milk everything that this Web3 economy can create when it's paired with entertainment. Like stuff is coming out that has never been seen before, but it's just like becoming so much bigger, becoming much more universal. Like using the content that we have right now to become big enough to then just expand beyond. It's like when you fly up in an airplane and it's cloudy, and then at some point you just reach above the clouds and then you see the beautiful sun and these amazing vistas. So that's what's going to happen with Party. We're right now just this flying through an asteroid belt, but at some point we'll be out of that asteroid belt, and then you'll see just the beautiful views of Saturn or whatever.
So very similar to what TikTok did in terms of e-commerce architectures. They kind of changed the landscape of e-commerce handling, right? The users could now actually order stuff while watching the video.
Yeah.
They can get it creates a new financial economy, right? Similarly, that's what then Instagram started to do.
Yeah.
Is there something innovative that's happening in Party that everyone should be really anticipated about?
Okay, so this sort of stuff on Instagram and Twitch came way later. On Party, this is the basic
This is the
infrastructure.
basic.
I mean, one of the first features, like in its launch, was that you can tip the creator in crypto, and then the creator can decide what crypto they accept. So one creator might decide they just do Solana, another one, is whatever, or they can just do credit cards as well. Credit cards are also allowed, just regular finance. And like the step to taking that and then scaling that to online sales is like nothing, because we already have the infrastructure. And above all, is like part of the basic design of the platform. So yeah,
that is really good. That is really innovative. And
most importantly, we give everybody a non-custodial wallet. So just by default, by being a user of the platform, you don't have to go and sign up for this whatever and then do your connect your bank account and whatever. No, it's you have it right there. And you can bring the money on the crypto wherever you want, from wherever you want, or not, or you can just be a regular user and just use the fiat on and off ramp that we have.
I think through this answer, the viewers will be able to understand how the token is being generated,
Yeah.
and what is the use case of the token, and how the whole business is actually working. Because I believe a good tokenomics has to have a very clear and simple architecture. The more difficult it becomes to consume, the more difficult it is for people to actually invest and really imagine it happening. So in this case, I can imagine uh, content creators getting paid in your token,
Yeah.
advertising, advertisers and then buying your token. That is again deflationary. That is going to increase the price of the token. The token is absolutely successful, and I'm hoping that it launches soon and we just become a part of it in some way.
Yeah. No. No. No, absolutely. That's going to be a very exciting moment. Um, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more on that? If you have any particular news for the tokenomics, what is the launch? What is the launch date? Is it public yet, or are you still keeping everyone with fingers crossed? What to expect from you?
Yeah. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Hmm.
We'll have something soon, but right now, let's
Awesome.
just keep it this way.
So everyone has to be very much involved into their social media just to wait for this token to be launched.
Yeah, I mean the big one is Twitter. I mean we have it.
Hmm.
Twitter is that where we do all our communication. Most of it is coming from me. So
Let's move on to the final questions. Just the end parts of it. What what are the long term goals for Party? Where do you see Party in the next 3 to 5 years? Where do you think you guys are headed?
yeah, so it's to become a crypto exchange. I mean that is
Hmm.
really where, because right now in crypto exchanges this is still part of earlier generations of crypto.
Hmm.
It's like you come onto crypto to trade it. And it's like, well, I think we will look back at this era of crypto in which
Hmm.
people were just trading crypto just for the sake of it. It's just kind of like why? Like it's just a game,
Yeah.
and at some future point in which everything somehow is powered by blockchain,
Hmm.
it's like why were you just like throwing it? It's like when you eat, you don't like start playing with the food like that. We tell children off for like playing with food because that's not what you're supposed to do with it.
Hmm.
Um, so I think in the future we will look back at companies like Party for really establishing
Hmm.
the next generation of this,
Hmm.
um, and but becoming an exchange um, through the purpose of this is what powers entertainment. This is what powers your consumption of entertainment,
Hmm.
and you happen to trade it and you happen to do things with it,
Hmm.
but just kind of as a means to an end.
Hmm. Okay. Um, for those viewers who are interested to explore more on Party,
Yeah.
what would you suggest them to follow? What do you suggest them to? Where do they contact you or your team? How do they stay in touch and be updated on the progress?
Yeah, so the Twitter channel obviously is very big. We have a huge Discord as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just follow the Discord channel.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff going on,
And we'll make
and
sure all the links are listed below the video's description so that all the viewers can go through that and have a look at this great product. And I'm really excited to have you today, man. Thank you so much for your time.
you're very welcome.
Any ending advice that you would like to give to budding entrepreneurs or budding product builders who are just very new to the Web3 space? If you can give few lines of advice, what would you give?
Well, I mean, just think about this balance of launching early
Mm-hmm.
versus waiting for your product to be completely finished and fixed,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to be solving. You don't want to be creating a solution for a problem that doesn't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we are very used to in the current age of just having really slick products
Mm-hmm.
that work really, really well.
Correct.
Because we've a
Mm-hmm.
whole generation of internet users
Mm-hmm.
have been brought up not with Windows XP, but rather with like slick App Store
The
apps.
Pentium processors were a big thing back then.
Yeah,
Now things are like totally on a different level. But yeah, I can
yeah. So they don't
understand.
appreciate just how hard it is to do anything. And
Absolutely.
like Party, it looks like $1 million website. It does not look like $1 billion website yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that's coming. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we need to close this round and
Mm-hmm.
go to the next stage.
Hmm.
But it's a slow process, and just have a little bit of patience with yourself and with these platforms, and
Hmm.
like try to figure out, well, where are they going, not where
And I
are they.
think the founders need to be very, very much positive
Yeah,
about what they're building, because there are good days and then there are bad days. Everyone gets motivated with the good days, right? They raise this amount, they raise that amount. Then they fail to understand. Then there are days when no investor is answering them. They're unable to explain. The investor is they have a common terminology. We'll get back to you on this. Um, so a founder has to be positive like you, who understands that okay, today is a good day. Tomorrow might not be as good as it is today, but my positivity is mine positivity, right?
yeah,
So I have to be as positive as today as I have to be tomorrow as I have to be. So my mood should not uh, really decide what kind of work I need to do, right?
yeah. That's why it's good to have a founding team that is in the same place and that
Mm-hmm.
cheers each other on. um,
Hmm. So on that note, let's cheer each other on,
Very much.
and all the very best to Party and the great product that you guys are building. We'll be happy to see some of the best news coming out, and all the best for your launch, man. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for your
man.
time. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming on the channel,
Very, very happily.
and we'll be getting more news on you guys. We'll be
Definitely.
happy to showcase the next launch, and I hope we'll do a podcast very soon on that. And till then, guys, see you.
See you. Thank you.